everybody, guess what? Day 17 is here. Yay! Okay, so that means there's what, 8 days to go? Of course I am recording this on the 14th, and so it will be scheduled to go up on the 16th. And, well, let's explain what's going on. I have 300 grams of resin-crete. I have 105 grams of water. And I have a very squishy, malleable Santa Claus mold. Now, I can't even remember what this Santa Claus looks like. It was in one of my Temu hauls. And so, you really can't tell, except there's Santa's face right there. Okay, so, I'm going to move this forward. I am going to make him all white resin cast, or resin-crete casting powders, and then paint him afterwards. I really enjoyed the last one. I miss painting a lot, and it seems like all I do is resin these days, and well, I am not just a resin person, and so it's kind of bothering me. And I would like to get to my roots a little bit. I started off in painting, and so this Christmas season I've got to incorporate a little bit of painting. Okay, I'm going to pour a little bit at a time. We don't want to overwhelm, and I made a little well for most of the water to go into. And of course we all know that this stuff, if you've watched my other videos or anybody else's, has a tendency to go and set quickly. Especially I found out that the dye that can go into this will cause it to actually set faster. The more you put it in, the faster it'll set. So we want to get this incorporated as quickly as possible, of course, without, splashing and dumping and, the usual things I can be really guilty of. Try to get the bigger clumps up first so it'll incorporate better. And I am using my mask. The one you guys have seen if you've watched my previous videos is just a painter's mask because it's meant for particulates. And that's what this resin-crete is particulates. Okay, time to get this stirred really good. I am going to pour only part in and tap the mold a few times to get the bubbles released. I have been having a few problems with the bubbles, and I don't want that to happen this time, if at all possible. But that's the life and dreams of a crafter who works with resins of all kinds. But we do want all the powder incorporated, no lumps. We want it creamy looking. Scrape our stick a little bit. Make sure there's no clumps on the stick. And I see one, so I'm turning my stick a little sideways to get that. There we go. And yes, I'll admit, when I first started this, I was intimidated by it because, everybody shows you how fast it sets. But I have found that I work with it at the 35 instead of the 30, and I work a little bit better with it that way. Okay, let's start getting this poured. I promise there will be an epoxy resin coming up soon, but for right now, I still have a lot of resin-crete I want to use up because, things have an expiration date, and I want to make sure that I use it up before then. And I just got through getting the new kit, so that'll help tremendously. Okay, not seeing any bubbles right now. And yes, if you use it at the 35, it's much more thinner and easier. Now I'm not sure if this is going to fill this mold all the way, but we're going to give it a good try. And it looks like it's going to fill it just fine. Now I'm going to stop real quick, get under this edge. Sorry, I've got the mask on and it's hard for me to breathe. So, yeah, I talk a little faster trying to get through this, and a little deeper because, or a little louder because I'm trying to conserve my air. Okay, I see that area right there. It's got a place to trap bubbles. Looks like I'll have a little bit left. And I see it settling at the bottom, so I'm going to stir it real fast. That is the one thing you've got to watch, is the settling at the bottom. So stir it every little once in a while. Okay, I just domed it. So 300 grams turned out perfect. With just a little bit left over, we'll just throw that into a little doodad here, and a little catch-all. It's going to have different mixes of resin in it and all of that. Make sure that's thoroughly well domed. I really don't like the spongier molds, but it is so much easier to demold them later. Okay, that's that for that. Oh, I'll give you an update later on in a different video on my son. So maybe if you're interested, keep an eye out for that. I know it's the Christmas season, and I know sometimes things can be depressing, but it's part of life, and some people are interested in how my son is doing. Alright, here we go. I'm going to put a tent over this, and I will return when it is cured. Okay, everybody. It's been an hour and a half. It's still actually quite warm, but it is able to be touched, so I will do the demolding now. And then we'll see what kind of Santa Claus was actually in here. And that was so easy to pull out. Oh my gosh. I like this mold. I'll have to get it cleaned out and try that in some deep pour resin. Okay. Here is the back of Santa. Let's turn him over a little bit. I see a little mark up here, so there's a defect in the mold a little bit. So I'll just kind of pick that off a little. Maybe I'll sand it down a little if I have to. Alright, so here we go. Let's see what Santa's face looks like. Wow, he's got a lot of hair. I like that. Oh, I love it. That's a good Santa. Let's get him up there some more for you. That is so cool. Like the Santa, but yes, see, they're on the top of the head there. There are little defects in the mold. That is not bubbles. So I am proud of this. Just a little bit of sanding and he'll do well. I'm going to leave him to cure the rest of the way overnight because he's still a little bit damp. And then I will be back and finish him off with the paint job in the morning. Alright, back soon. Okay, I decided that before I get to letting him cure all the way, well, he's still going to cure all the way, but I don't have a flesh-toned paint, period. It's just not happening, so I'm going to create my own. It's going to be mostly these are Amsterdam Standard Series. This one is an opaque, and it is Venetian Rose, and it is a very lovely color. We're going to put just a little bit on here. And I am going to make enough to fill a little pot, because I may need to use it again. Alright, we've got enough of that in there. The next color to use is I'm going to put a little bit of yellow to try to get the shade of flesh tone I want. As you can see, this one here is more of a pink. That's why it's a rose. Although, my favorite rose is a red one. Unless I can find a white one that's been dyed blue. A little bit of yellow on top there. Now we're going to mix that around. It'll go slightly orange, and that's what I'm looking for. And since I am going to be putting it in a little pot, which is this little one right here, it doesn't hold much, but I don't always have a call for flesh tones. I think my dog wants to go out to the potty. Almost there. So a little bit more of the yellow to change it ever slightly more. Watch me throw that cup right off into my lap. Okay. That should do, and then the addition of some titanium white will end up finishing it off. Now this is a semi-opaque. This is opaque. This one cancels out this semi-opaqueness, so it'll be a true opaque. The white is titanium white, therefore a true opaque. This is its opacity, and this is its light fastness. Yes, Belair, I will tell Daddy to put you outside. Now, I don't know if you can see the color changing in this, but it is turning into a more peachy color. And why isn't it focusing? Too many things on the board there, I think. Let's move those out of the way for a moment. There we go. Now it's trying. But yes, there has been a change in the tint of this. So now it doesn't look the same on camera as it does as I'm looking at it, but that's fine. Okay, let's get a little bit of white into there. I want enough so that he doesn't turn out looking cartoony colored. Although probably the rest of him will look cartoony anyway. So we will see what goes on. Always scrape. You don't want some surprise streak in there of a color you're not expecting. It's very close to what I'm looking for, just not quite yet. Still trying to get all the white incorporated into that. So a little bit more white, and I think I'm going to be very good with this. Ugh. Okay, that was a lot more white, but I'll do with it. Okay. Yes, there's paint on me. It doesn't fail. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Scrape some of that off for a second. Try to get this white up in there. I almost have it to the color. And I think I've got the color I want. Make sure it's all incorporated so I'm not going to be surprised later on. So, oops, I didn't mix it all the way. Okay, I think I'm kind of good. Yep, I am. Okay, I'm going to sit that there for half a second. We'll wipe off that white paint. Go ahead and get that off me real fast. Okay. And then we just open up this little pot here. And scrape it on in there. And this is actually quite a lot of paint made up. Now, I have to find something a little bit flatter, of course, to scrape this with. So I'm going to throw that little stick away, and I'm going to reach in my little drawer over here, and grab out a little flat stick. Make sure as I scrape, see there was a little bit of white that didn't get quite mixed. Alright, let's get this scraped in. And of course, when you do this, you want to make sure that you wipe the rim before you put the lid on. Otherwise, you end up with a stuck lid, and It's very frustrating. Okay, and that is my flesh tone for my Santa. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, let you go, get cleaned up here, and get ready for the morning to paint Mr. Santa. Okay, one more thing before I begin painting Santa. I need glitter glue. I do not have a place in town here to actually get glitter glue. So I am, of course, going to be resourceful and make my own. These are my Christmas colors, my normals, which is gold, silver, blue, and I have two different color blues here. And they are all fine glitters. And I'm going to mix a little bit of the more gray blue in with the bright blue. Then I have red, and I've kind of got it color coded a little bit. The red's going to go in the tomato ketchup bottle, the blues into the soy sauce, the salad dressing is getting the silver, and the honey mustard is getting the gold. Now I don't have that 4 of these little bottles like this, so the green is going to go in this really huge bottle, and it looks really huge compared to these because that is 1.5 ounces, which I think is a lot more actually than 1.5 ounce, because these little stir pots here are 30 ml, which is 1 ounce, and I know that though this may fit in there, it's not going to come anywhere near half of this. So, it will get the least amount. I'm going to do this, and then I'll come back and begin painting Santa. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm about ready to begin painting Santa. I have some supplies here. I did do all the glitters, got them all in their little perspective, or respective, excuse me, bottles. I'm going to set those aside right now because those are for embellishments here and there. Of course, I've gotten my flesh tone paint that I made. I do have some Upgrade brand pearl silver and some Amsterdam, let's see, Naphtha red deep, for of course, you know, Santa's suit. The white of Santa will remain white, just the resin grate, but I will be sealing it with some spray gloss varnish, so it'll stay good for a very long time. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to probably not be talking at all, and I will make this a 2-part video to be able to splice together later. Actually, probably a 3-part video, so I can have this first portion where I've been talking, the last portion where I'll talk some more, but the middle portion I'm going to put into my phone's editor and speed this painting portion up a bit. That way the video doesn't run extremely long. Now the glitters, they look like this. So they're pretty heavily glittered, and I probably, of course, won't be using all of them, but I will be using some of them. And this one blue glitter, where I mixed the 2 blues, it actually turned out pretty fabulous. Let's see if we can get that to come in. Really fabulous. I love it. So I'll have to look through my Temu orders and find out on that glitter where I got it from. Or did I get it at Family Dollar? I don't know. I'll have to look. Alright. I'm going to cut this here and begin painting on another portion of the video.
How can I feel the joy of being with you? How can I chase the pain away for good? Well, this is calling me, all is not true. I bring some mistletoe with me. Christmas is waiting for you. It'll never start without you, never start without you. Christmas is all about you. I see everywhere around the fairies of December. You, I see everywhere around the fairies of December. You, can you feel the joy when Santa Claus comes to town? Has come to town. Have you wrote your list to get up for good? Hurry down the chimney tonight. I wait impatiently for you, my Santa baby. I really do believe in you. Christmas is waiting for you. It'll never start without you, never start without you. Christmas is all about you. I see everywhere around the fairies of December. You, I see everywhere around the fairies of December. You, can you feel the joy when Santa Claus comes to town? Has come to town. And I remember the presents and the lights in the trees, the smell of chestnut boiling on the heat. And I remember dreaming, buried in a comfy blanket that I will never forget. When I was waiting for the snow to fall to make a giant snowman, my heart was jingling over and over. I won't forget that snowman, I won't forget those years, an amazing time. Will forever be the wonders of Christmas. Christmas is waiting for you. It'll never start without you.
Be kind to one another. Don't give in to fear. That's all that I am asking for Christmas time this year. We've had enough of fighting and dying in the streets. For Christmas I just want a little peace. Be blind to one another. The differences are small. We all have got a cross to bear. We all have got our faults. For once when we're affronted, can we turn the other cheek? For Christmas I just want a little peace. And if the fates should bless us with a moment of reprieve, we all could stand together in the silence and just breathe. Rejoice for all the happiness, mourn for all the grief. It's all that I am asking for this lonely Christmas Eve. Let's shine on one another.
You know, I think I'll tell you the story of my life.
Great! I want to hear too.
I was born in Animus, North Dakota, a long time ago, see? And now I'm lucky enough to be here with you.
Yeah, but what happened in between? Yeah, what else happened?
Well, it went pretty much like this.
If you want a Christmas day, I can give you a cup of cocoa. Even if it was cold, babe, don't worry, I'll be there for you. Every night I see you falling down there. By you, I feel like curtain hiding down there. And so much worries you were holding inside of you. The scars and tears will dry by. You'll be fine, don't worry, babe. I'll light up the candles for you. I will say that my Christmas stands for you.
Alright everyone, the middle portion was sped up by times 10, and he is now finished. There are subtleties. I'm sorry, I have natural daylight as well coming in, so it's a lot more difficult to get this colored. So let me turn off my other light here. Yeah, if I figure out which button it is. And this is just natural daylight coming in. And my ring light there. Maybe that will help now. So this is the back of Santa. His side view. His other side view. And his face. I hope you enjoyed video 17, day 17 of my 25 days of Christmas. If you liked this, of course, a thumbs up please, a comment below, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. More days to come, which there are, with this video there are 8 more videos, so 7 more until Christmas. Also, consider sharing it. And I'm really sorry that this is a long video, but I did try to make it better by speeding up the middle. Alright everyone, peace out, love y'all.